refreshing drink. Hi guys, my name is Erica and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video on how you can stop getting offended on what people say about you and what people say to your face, and to develop a thicker skin instead of having that thin skin where people feel like they can judge you and bully you and then you crack. That's not going to happen because I'm going to teach you a lot of helpful tips so we can all be stronger and we can all develop that thick skin and not get offended so easily. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share, and let's just get right into the video. When you think about the term stop getting offended, what you want to do is elevate some part of yourself. Getting offended, that's a negative trait, and you want to kind of overcompensate so that that doesn't bother you in that sense. So what I mean by that is you want to develop something, and you really want to work on developing and making your self-confidence very high. You want to build up your self-confidence. You want to focus on your life and focus on building your dream life. If you're someone that develops high self-confidence, that means that you're going to be more secure and sure about your values, your morals, your beliefs, your actions. And that is going to make you less likely to be offended when someone says something that could offend you. You are less likely to allow negative opinions to bother you. So what is very important is you want to keep on developing your self-confidence in all aspects of your life. And when you develop that, it's going to make this offensive behavior mean less to you from other people. Self-confidence is not something that just develops overnight. It is something that has to be practiced and something that you have to discipline yourself in. You develop confidence by doing things that help you become a better version of yourself, more fulfilled and more happy. Continue just trying to be the best version of yourself, and that is going to help in helping you in those situations when you feel like someone could offend you. But you're going to be strong and you're going to be confident in yourself that you don't even care that they say something. The second thing to keep in mind is that you have to have this expectation that not everyone is going to be nice. There are 7 billion people, I think, in this world, and you can't expect everyone to be, nice and to be a good person. There are definitely some bad apples, and that's just a part of life, unfortunately. That's just something that we have to deal with. We can try to promote peace and promote good stuff, but there are still those people that just don't get it. You have to be pessimistic in a sense and realize that there are bad apples out there. There are people that want to create harm in your life, and you're not going to allow that to happen to you. Expect that you'll have people that are going to drain your energy and that are going to offend you. Don't demand the world to be nice. It's just a product of nature. So when you come across intentionally offensive people, you want to set your boundaries and limit your interactions with them. So that is a way of you protecting yourself. These things don't serve you and they waste your time. If you can, really try to not even deal with that and just limit those interactions. Set those boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself. It's a given that we need to share our world with some of these negative, offensive people. Because of that, that makes it even more important for us to overcompensate in a sense and make sure that we are as strong as we can be. Thick skin, as thick of a skin as we can have so that we can deal with it in a healthier manner. It makes it that much more important for us to work on ourselves so we can gain an edge in emotional intelligence. It's kind of like survival of the fittest, right? The people that are less likely to be able to get offended, that is a skill that has to be practiced. And when you develop that skill, you have an edge over those people that cannot deal with those situations and don't know how to deal with those situations in a healthy manner. Something that you also have to realize is that these people, they're trying to assert dominance over you. They see it as a kind of social hierarchy, and they believe falsely that they are on top. They might view you as someone on the bottom, someone that doesn't deserve respect. So they believe that they are up there, they have the high status, and they deserve the highest respect, whereas they believe that they can push you around, shove you around, bully you, and disrespect you. It is a kind of bullying in the social hierarchy. I do believe that it depends on the situation. Sometimes it's just going to waste your time to even talk to them and try to reason with them. In those instances, you can walk away. But sometimes I believe they need to be put in their place and they need to have a piece of humble pie. Maybe if you don't do something about it, then they can feel like they can do the same thing. What they did is okay, and they're going to just continue that behavior and bully other people. So I think you really have to assess the situation and think about, is it worth it to call this person out and assert my own dominance over their faux dominance? And if it is it going to have a positive impact? And do you think that they are actually going to learn something from that situation? I believe that they will. I believe that they'll eat that piece of humble pie and be like, I should be put in my place, and that could be a learning experience for them. It really is up to you. It's really important regarding your gut instincts. What do you feel like in that situation? Do you think that it would be good for you to call them out, make a scene? Sometimes they deserve that. They deserve some public humiliation for being disrespectful, but it depends, it really depends on the situation. One thing to note, you need to experience it to grow from it. You can't develop thick skin overnight. It's a process that is hopefully the byproduct of the experiences that you've had in your life. Experiences shape you, they grow you, they mature you, and they should make you a better version of yourself. Just remember that we are always going to have someone that's going to have a negative opinion of us, and they're going to try to intentionally offend us. This is always going to be a part of life. Unfortunately, it's not something that we can avoid. So what I encourage you to do is that when you are in that situation, again, remember that experience, react to it, take a deep breath, contemplate on it, reflect briefly, and then let go. Life is so short. Life is too short. If it doesn't serve you, then let it go. It's important to retrain and train your brain to be emotionally and mentally strong. All part of that emotional intelligence. People tend to overlook emotional intelligence sometimes, but it is so important skill to develop. Something that you can work towards. People aren't just born with emotional intelligence, something that you have to work on. That's a very important life skill. Something that is also very important to consider. Your emotional response to the situation is fleeting. You are in control here in this situation, because you remember in the back of your mind, am I going to let this destroy me? Am I going to let this crumble me? I'm just going to feel this feeling and then it's going to go. Feelings are temporary, feelings are fleeting. Feelings last as long as you let it last. It's this sense of self-control, of your ability to be able to manipulate the situation, that gives you that power. If you allow this offensive remark to permeate your insides and destroy you, then in that sense, it is kind of your own problem, because you have to realize people can say whatever they want, but you are in control of how you react to all of those situations. They can say whatever, but then it's your turn. You have the throne. You have the power of letting it affect you or not. They want it to affect you. That is their motive. That's their intention, but you're not going to give them that satisfaction. So what you can try in the future when you are faced with this situation is you can hear it, think about it a bit briefly, contemplate, and then let go. Think about something else and just move on with your life. This might sound like it's so easy, but it's something that you just have to incorporate into those practices and just keep on practicing. Practicing makes it perfect. The next thing is you have to try to understand their intent. Sometimes they say an offensive remark and it may be from a place of love. For example, maybe someone says, I don't know, like, you need to eat more. I have gotten this comment before. People saying, you need to eat more. I hear that. I used to be very sensitive about this issue. Hearing this, it would make me break down. But now I'm looking at it in a different perspective. I'm thinking maybe they're saying it from a place of love. Maybe they had someone that had some kind of eating disorder and they feel like I don't know, maybe they think that they can see some resemblance, even though I'm telling you there's no resemblance there. They come out from a place of concern, of caring and love. If you can realize that, see that that may be their intents, then just let it go, because if it's not the truth, let it go. Or you can think about it that they say something offensive and they're probably going through something in their life. Honestly, when I'm thinking about intent, there are two ways of looking at it. Number one, malicious intent. They just say it to rile you up, be negative, and have a negative interaction. That's their goal. Number two is they come from a place of love and concern. I don't think that's bad. And usually I feel like for number two, that's usually for people that are closer to you. They are more of an acquaintance or a colleague or a family member, a friend, a significant other. People that have your interests at heart, that say a comment that maybe you see as offensive, but they're coming from a place of love. Those are the main two. Yeah, those are the main two. Number one, maybe they're saying those things because they are going through something themselves. We should try to understand their perspective a bit. If you say something with malicious intent about someone, there's some demons inside of you that you feel like you want to make yourself superior over other people and put them down in order to bring yourself up. You're not happy with yourself, because if you're happy, you have no need to bother other people with your opinions about them. That actually says a lot about them, and they have these internal struggles inside of themselves that they're not ready to reveal yet to the world. It's a little bit black and white, but there's a good intent and there's a bad intent. See what that intention is. I'm going to be discussing malicious intent. Something that we have to keep in mind and realize is that if they are intentionally trying to offend you, their opinion already loses its vigor, its value. They are trying to get an emotionally charged reaction and response from you, instead of getting a logically thought out, calm, rational response out of you. In this sense, their offensive comment already loses its vigor. Just think about that for a second. If they try to offend you, to try to get an emotional reaction, that already tells you that the reaction that they're trying to get is a fleeting moment of pleasure. For you, it's also a fleeting moment of anger, some kind of emotion. They are doing that to get a temporary feeling of satisfaction, and you're not going to give that to them. You're not even going to allow that to affect you in any way. Think about it. If someone is trying to get an emotional reaction out of you, they already know that the way that you're going to react is not how you would ordinarily react. When you're thinking and acting on your emotions, you're not using your reason and you're not using the rational part of your mind. That already makes this situation less valid, if you know what I mean. It's not well supported. Something that we also have to realize, if they offend you, that means that they succeed. Then they own and control you. That's what they want to happen. It's strangely like a game or a competition. They are trying to assert dominance over you, but you are not going to allow them to assert their fake dominance over you. They might think of you as an underdog, but you're just actually going to come out on top and even surprise them and humble them. They believe that you are weak and you can't defend yourself, so they pick on you. If you feel insulted about what they say, you care what they think and you seek validation from them. People want you to care what they say because it feeds into their own ego that what they say and what they believe has value and has some truth to it. That what they believe and say matters. But don't give them that satisfaction. Instead, focus on self-satisfaction, self-validation, self-love, and self-fulfillment and self-happiness. A lot of selves in there, but you gotta focus and shift what they believe onto what you believe about yourself. They want to gain control of how you think about yourself and what you believe about yourself. It is a sense of manipulation, if I do say so myself, but you're not going to even fold and allow that to happen. You're not going to allow them to control you. Just focus on yourself, seek your own validation so that you can live a freer, more happy, and more peaceful life. What is also important is that you accept the truth and you reject the nonsense. If you hear what they say and there's some truth to that statement, For example, they say, "You are scared of heights," and then they mock you about it. You need to think about it. Like, am I scared of heights? Maybe I am. They can say, "Look at your head, it's bald." Don't be offended if there is some truth to what they're saying. If they're saying your head is bald, just laugh it off. If they say you don't dress nice, as long as you're happy with how you dress, doesn't matter. There's some things that you can see there's some truth to them, and then you can just acknowledge it, laugh it off, and joke around. But if it's nonsense, you're going to reject nonsense and not give it any attention. Don't get offended by things that are true. Why does it even matter? How can you get offended by something that is true? It's the truth. And something else that I want to say is that people that are more easily offended and more easily hurt by what people say, that is because there is something going on internally that is already void in a sense. Maybe your internal life is already in shambles and you're in a lot of pain. So then when someone says something negative, that deflates your ego even more. If you're the type of person that you really are in a situation where you are at a low point in your life and you really lack self-confidence, it's going to affect you a lot more when someone says something, in a sense, validating how you feel about yourself. That's not healthy. I suggest you to work on that. Find ways to just better yourself. Manage your stress levels and your anxiety levels so that you become stronger. One of the last points that I want to mention is that at the end of the day, don't stress it because life is so short. Life is too short. You need to think about your ego. There are more important things in the world than caring about what other people think. People are dying, people are suffering, people's lives are ending shorter. Put things into perspective. Does it really matter what someone thinks about you? It doesn't. It weighs very low on your scale. In those situations, consider the big picture and what really matters in life. What matters in life is not what people think about us. What matters in life is how we portray ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, and how we can help others and become the best versions of ourselves so that we can take care of those that we love and just spread good vibes all around. Ask yourself, what is the benefit for you on fixating on things that you can't control? You can't control if someone is offending you. What benefit are you providing to yourself by getting fixated on what someone has to say about you? As long as you are trying your best to be happy and healthy and fulfilled and you're living a genuine, authentic life, why does it even matter what people are saying about you? If someone is intentionally offending you and saying gossip, rude, cruel things about you, that says more about them than it says about you. It has everything to do with them, their lack of confidence and what they can bring to the table. They feel like their value is to demean other people, bully other people. That's not the value that you're going to give, and you're not going to give them that belief that that is what they can do. All in all, it's really important to be confident in yourself and to develop your self-confidence. Also know yourself enough to know that no one understands you and your lifestyle more than you. You can also think about that person's lack of understanding, their need to say something offensive because they don't understand you and they don't understand your lifestyle. As I said before, it's very important to try to see what their intent is. It might be misunderstanding of their part, lack of understanding about your lifestyle compared to their lifestyle. They live a very different way from you, and maybe they cannot understand or they just don't understand the way that you live life. They see the way that you're living and they take offense to that, or they just have some kind of negative opinion about it and they judge you for it. You may think of it as a situation in which they are offended because of a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding about your particular lifestyle. That could be either because you don't tell them what your lifestyle is like, or they just don't seek to understand what it is like. Just remember that you actually have a one-up on them because you know their intent. They are trying to rile you up and get a reaction out of you. They want to stir up the pot, but you are mature, beautiful, and worthy to play them at their own game. and not allow them to manipulate you. In a sense, you're kind of manipulating them because they expected a certain reaction out of you. That is what they were hoping for in the back of their minds, but you're not giving that to them. You're not giving them what they want. That can drive them crazy too. Their plan backfired. You are better than that. You won't allow mere words to entangle and wreak havoc on your naturally peaceful corner of life. All in all, in summary, to not get offended easily, you have to have a strong sense of self. It really comes down to focusing on what you can control and what you can't control. You can't control that they are trying to rile you up and to get a reaction out of you. They have their intent, but you also have yours. Your intent is to not allow them to assert dominance over you. This is not even real dominance. This is fake dominance, trying to bully you and get a reaction out of you. They think that they're up here on the social hierarchy, but you are right here because you one-up them based on your reaction. So just remember what is important. You're not going to allow them to bully you and disrespect you. What you say and what you do and how you react to that situation, that is your power. You're not going to allow them to make you feel bad about yourself. That is definitely not what should happen. Be strong, keep on practicing self-confidence, work on yourself, better yourself, build this barrier that when situations like this do arise, you know how to handle it and you know how to cope with it in a healthy way, that it doesn't even affect you. You just realize at the end of the day, words can hurt, but words are just words. They only have as much weight as you give it to them. If you don't give them any weight, then those words already lose their power. Feelings are fleeting. Whatever emotional response there is, that is also fleeting. Focus on what matters, how you can react to those situations, disciplining your mind. Keep on working on yourself. Take it easy. Don't let things consume you. You are amazing. Who cares what other people say? People say offensive things to me all the time. Do I care? I don't care. I used to care when I was younger, but that was the old me. A lot of people have said a lot of things about me. They really have no filter sometimes. But you have to realize that you have more power than you believe. If they see what they say doesn't even affect you, then they're like, oh, like, I'm surprised, I'm shocked. I'm just gonna move on because this person is not gonna take it. They realize that they can't mess with you. You are much stronger than they believe. You may see yourself as a little underdog. You have more power than you believe. You are strong and you don't take that. Someone's going to say something, you have the power. You can react in healthy ways in which you are not going to feel bad about yourself. You're not going to cry yourself to sleep, feel like there's something wrong with you. What you should do is think about it, contemplate on it a bit, let go. If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you. Sometimes, though, there is a lesson. There can be some truth to what they're saying. And in those instances, take that. Use it as fuel to better yourself. In other instances, when people are just saying mean things, trying to offend you, those instances is when you know how to react better now. You react in a healthy way. You're not going to let it bother you much. You're going to hear it, think about their perspective. Maybe they do have malicious intent. You're not going to give them that power of letting it affect you. Or it could be that they have a good intent. In those cases, maybe you can thank them sometimes. And in other instances, you need to think about that malicious intent. There's something going on within them that they feel like they have to bring themselves up. You have the power here. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's a lot of rambling, I think. But I hope that this video helped you realize that you are awesome. Words are just words. Moments are fleeting. Emotions are fleeting. Emotional responses are fleeting. And there are so many things to think about in this world. So much beauty in this world. There are so many more important things to focus on than what someone thinks. I can understand if you are a company, you sell products. Consumers are going to have an opinion, but you need to think about, is there some validation? Is there some truth to what they're saying, these opinions? Everyone for some reason has a negative thing to say about you, like a particular thing. Really have to think about their intent. If their intent is to help you, that's good, right? And if they see something in you that you don't see in yourself, you want to work on that. But I'm mostly talking about malicious intent in this video. When there is malicious intent, either you make the move of just ignoring them, brushing them off, or you can just stand up for yourself, call them out on what they're saying so that they don't feel like what they did is right. They might think that what they did is right. You have to kind of draw a fine line. What is going to serve you? That's the question. You have to be strong in yourself and strong in what you believe. Strong in knowing and having good self-awareness. Self-awareness is very important. You need to practice that emotional intelligence, being self-aware. What am I going to do? Is it going to serve me or is it going to destroy me? If it doesn't serve me, I'm not even going to go down that road. So it really is about understanding yourself, understanding your needs and your wants, how you can benefit yourself. Don't get wrapped up in the wrong things. Prioritize things that are important to you. You're going to prioritize yourself, prioritize your happiness, how you can become a better version of yourself. So yeah, that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!